Well, it's that time again. Group 1 for the YieldMax ETFs announced their distributions. We're going to go through those, and then we'll also check in on Bitcoin, MSTR and MSTY, and see where those are setting currently. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So today we're going to take a look at the YieldMax ETF Group 1 announcements that happened today. So if you appreciate this type of content, make sure to hit that like button as it does help the channel out. So let's just go ahead and jump right over into the announcements and get started. And here we are on the YieldMax ETF announcements, and this is for November 25th with a X date of the 26th, which is Wednesday, and a pay date of 28th, okay? And that is a Friday. Thursday is a holiday, so therefore the market will be closed, and that's the reason why it bumps out to the 28th. Okay, so this is the start of Group 1, and in Group 1, we'll start right off with CHPY for 43 cents, FEAT with 37 cents, FIVY 25 cents, GPTY with 30 cents, LFGY 36 cents, and that's coming down a little bit, right? But so is the entire market, right? QDTE for 41 cents, RDTY 48 cents, SDTY with 33 cents, SLTY with 57 cents, and that's a 77% distribution. And SLTY is a short fund, so with a lot of the stocks coming down, does make sense of why they're paying out more, right? ULTY with 5 cents, and that's a 76% distribution rate, so it's come down a little bit more because the market keeps coming down. YMAG with 12 cents, and that's a 43% distribution rate. And YMAX with 10 cents at a 50% distribution rate. So as you know, in this group, I have YMAX and ULTY, so I'll be able to update my spreadsheet this weekend on those. And tomorrow, we should get the announcements for Group 2. And we'll see what they're going to pay out. But with the market coming down, I'm not really looking for too high of distributions until that kind of cools off and starts leveling off and hopefully starts moving back up. But speaking of going down and leveling off and going up and such, let's take a look at Bitcoin. And here we are on Bitcoin. And as you can see, there's that line that we drew in, and that is at that 88.8K, and we were coming up to test it yesterday, and I told you if it could not break past it, it's probably going to get rejected and pushed on down. And that's exactly what we're seeing, right? We see that it did come up, it did test it, and then it got rejected. Now that doesn't mean that it's coming all the way down, as it could come back up and retest it and keep chipping away at it. But the one thing that I am seeing, if we zoom out a little bit right here and let me hide the lines, there we go. And you can see where we started coming down, you can see it goes down, and then we get this little bump up, right? So down, bump up, down, bump up, down, and then a bump up right here. And then what are we seeing here? Down, a bump up, down, bump up. And it looks like we could be seeing another down if the trend continues, right? And each time it does make newer lows. So if that's the case, this here could be dropping below 80K. And if we turn the lines back on, you'll notice that there are resistance lines or previous support lines at these bump ups and then a push back down or a rejection, right? There's one right here. We came down, we went up, hit that 105 and rejected, right? Right here, not as clean, right? It did come down, tried to stay above it, but got rejected. Here, came up, hit it, rejected. Here, hit it, rejected. So if that trend continues, then we could be seeing Bitcoin moving on down, unfortunately. We are seeing that 88.8 as a resistance line, and we did get rejected today from that. But do note that the momentum here is decreasing. That could be a good sign. Could be, because if it keeps decreasing on that negative side, we could get enough momentum to help break back through that 88.8. But if it does get rejected and we see this momentum starting to increase again on that negative side, then we're coming on down. And if we do come on down, where are we headed, right? That's the next question. Well, we have a line right here at about 77.7K. So that could be the next point that we're headed down to. So the high 70s. And if we continue this same trend and we see it happen here as well, then we could be coming down to the low 70s. And you can see that right over here. See, right here, this line is at a roughly 71K area, as this was a pretty strong resistance right here. It hit it several times before breaking through. Previous resistance lines are hopefully a support line, right? So hopefully we can keep it above that, because if it does break that 71, then the next area that we're looking at is here at this high 50s to low 60 range right here. So if these support lines here cannot hold it, we're coming all the way down to possibly in the 60s and even possibly to the high 50K on Bitcoin. I don't necessarily want to see that, but if it does, I might have to end up buying a little bit of Bitcoin being at that low of a price, especially if it's down in the 50s and 60s, right? Now, that's not financial advice. That is just what my thoughts are. But with Bitcoin moving on down, of course, we're seeing the same result on MSTR, as MSTR is coming on down as well. And MSTR also has that resistance line now of that 181. Like I said, I'm hoping that Bitcoin can move back above that 88K so that we can move MSTR back up above this 181. Because if not, we could be headed down to the basement here, right? It could be moving down to in the 120 area for MSTR. And of course, as MSTR is dropping, it is bringing MSTY on down with it. Now that is just the effect of the covered call, as you are limited on the upside. But since the underlying is dropping, then MSTY, the ETF, is going to drop as well. It's not going to go up if the underlying is going down. If the underlying goes down, then MSTY or any of the other ETFs that have the underlying of MSTR will be coming down along with it. That is just how it works. But of course, MSTR cannot move up if Bitcoin is going to continue moving down. So we really need some help with Bitcoin to get MSTR moving, so we can keep MSTY moving up and hopefully leveling back off. And if we flip it to the actual chart like this, you can see that is the actual chart where it's showing that it came out around that $20 range, and we're sitting at about $6.94. And we've been as high as $46.50. But when you're having Bitcoin drop like this, there's not much we can do with anything else that uses Bitcoin to push the price. And that would mean MSTR is going to be coming down as well. And before we wrap this one up, I just wanted to do a quick little overview of my stock tracker sheet summary page. And here we are. And as you can see, I am currently still down on CONY, ULTY, and SMCY, along with YWMY. As you can see, I am still up on all the rest of them. And this does update as the market goes. There is a delay, about probably 20-minute delay on the price, but this is after hours. So these are the closing prices of those ETFs. And this shows how many shares I have of each one. But since the market has still been coming down, I'm not surprised that I'm still under on CONY, ULTY, SMCY, and YWMY. as I would need the market to turn around a little to help me out. But in the meantime, I am still trying to bring down my real price per share so that I can bring it down lower. And when the actual price of, say, CONY turns around or starts trading sideways, as I'm earning those distributions or buying shares under this price, eventually I will be able to get my real price per share under the market price. And at that point, my sell here will turn green, meaning that if I were to sell my shares, I will earn money. But as you can see, overall, I am green on all these. Even if I sold everything, you can see right here, I would clear $15,696.28. And that would be if I sold out of every single position that I have. I'm basically making more than I'm losing on these ETFs. And I chalk it up to the fact that I am playing these a bit different. I do not drip 100% at whatever price. So I only buy when the market price is under my real price per share or the adjusted price per share, whichever one you want to call it, so that it helps to lower the number of distributions needed right here. That just speeds up that time needed to get that position paid off. So not only does the distributions that I earn help to lower this number of payments, but also buying shares under my real price per share will also reduce that payoff period for each of those ETFs that I do buy more shares in. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, hit the subscribe button and smash the like button. It'd be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, Legend out.